When you think of musical innovators online, you think of Peter Gabriel,
David Bowie,
Todd Rundgren,
Thomas Dolby.
Thomas Dolby. All these guys have really helped us figure out how to communicate online.
And it may have been a while since you've seen Thomas Dolby's name on the pop charts, but that in no way means he's out of the music business.
That's right. Once you see what he's up to today, you're going to want his autograph more now than ever.
You remember Thomas Dolby, the 80s pop star whose spectacles and electronically produced sounds were nerd rock before nerd rock was cool. Well, he may not have been on the MTV Countdown lately, but he's no one-hit wonder.
I remember one night, late at night, watching cable TV and seeing a Time Life 80s collection, and my name scrolled past, and I sat there and I thought, damn it, I'm not going to live out the rest of my life as just a name that scrolls past on late-night cable TV.
Over the past decade, Dolby has produced albums for George Clinton and Joni Mitchell, penned soundtracks for George Lucas, and developed interactive music for video games. We caught up with Dolby recently at New York Cyber Cafe, where he told us how he went from being a pop star to the head of the innovative internet company Headspace, which is changing forever the way the internet sounds.
When I started out making music, at the end of the 70s, there were no PCs. Very early on in my career, when I was using synthesizers, I used to hack to pieces machines that were built for something completely different. I spotted one day a disco lighting console, which is designed to turn Tangerine Dream's light show on and off, and I adapted it with a soldering iron to play the drums for me. So the drums that you hear on She Blinded Me with Science are actually played not by a person or a computer, they're played by a disco lighting console.
Even back then, Dolby was Mr. High-Tech guy. Science. Come the 90s, Dolby began to be fascinated by the internet.
There was no technology available to let me do my thing. So I decided to put together a team of excellent engineers, and we call ourselves Headspace, and created a new technology for delivering better sound quality over the internet.
The results of his efforts?
Beatnik is a player that plugs into your web browser. This is a little bit different from streaming audio, in that streaming audio is a linear stream of music that will show up in a little box and play in association with a web page. Beatnik allows you to actually integrate little chunks of sound into the page itself. By moving your mouse over a logo, you could trigger the jingle associated with that logo. To send music over a telephone wire is like trying to send a wedding cake over a telephone wire. It's very hard to do. On the other hand, if you send the recipe and you already have flour and eggs and water at the other end, then you can do it a lot more efficiently. I'm now going to attempt for the first time ever on national television to play the melody to Somewhere Over the Rainbow by just moving my cursor over this rather fine graphic of Elsa Lanchester.
Check out the Beatnik Gallery at the Headspace site, where people from all over the world upload examples of sites they have created using the software.
Okay, on this next site, it's actually possible to set up an ambient landscape, soundscape if you like, just by picking from two different menus. So from the Moods menu, I might select something like Anxiety Attack. Whereas from the Atmospheres menu, I might select something like Modern Office. This is a kind of a mist-like explorable space where you encounter these different virtual musical instruments which you can play just by interacting with them.
While there, be sure to download the software for free.
You should go in and download to your heart's content and dive in there before we start charging for it.
Headspace has been rewarded with licensing agreements from the web's biggest names, including WebTV and Netscape.
Tell me about your childhood.
On this page, I'm actually going to remix my song Hyperactive.
Dolby may have changed his focus for the moment, but his fans rage on, building tributes to his music at dozens of fan sites, including his official site, the Flat Earth Society.
The Earth is flat.
Find samples of his music and clips of his videos, as well as regular updates on his accomplishments as a member of the Silicon Valley elite.
I will get into business meetings and somebody will say, oh, by the way, at the end of this meeting, I was hoping I could get a signed CD. And some other VP that just sat in on the meeting will look at me askance and go, I thought this guy was the CEO of Headspace. What are they talking about autographing CDs?
Just as a footnote to that last story, Thomas Dolby, or the artist formerly known as Thomas Dolby, is now known as Thomas Dolby Robertson.
But whatever you want to call him, you can get his beatnik software at our website, getwild.com, and we'll show you how you can download it for free.
That's getwild.com. Anything and everything you've seen on the show, insanely easy to get to, getwild.com.